Hello, everyone. It's good to have you back on Leading Edge. I hope these sessions have been useful to you. Today, we have a very interesting subject to discuss. I'll be sharing a few thoughts with you on the four types of leader you must not be. Hear that again. The four types of leader you must not be. All right. Now, I've been privileged in my professional career to work with several kinds of leaders. I work with very inspiring leaders, leaders that, they just knew how to galvanize the whole team and bring people together. Leaders that were very, very technically competent. Leaders whose lives have rubbed off on me and have built me to who I am. But I've had two occasions I can recall in my professional life where I've had leaders that I couldn't place. I couldn't quite place them. They showed no technical competence. They had no interest on the job whatsoever. There was no sense of commitment coming from them. In a sense, I'll tell you the truth. They added nothing to me and they added nothing to the collective goal. In fact, what I remember them for was that approval requests that were sent to their desks stayed there and aged for a very long time. And so, what that immediately implicates is that we had a leader, but there was no leadership. Take note of that. We had a leader in a person, but there was no leadership. So there was a glaring leadership vacuum. I'll tell you, when people think of leadership vacuum, they think of the absence of a leader. But I will tell you this, that a leadership vacuum is actually the absence of leadership, of a functional leadership. The consequence anytime you have a leadership vacuum is that the institution teeters like a rudderless ship. And once you have a rudderless ship, of course, going adrift becomes inevitable. And that was what I saw in those two instances. So, I'll be sharing with you four broad symptoms, if you will, of a leadership vacuum. Or put another way, four kinds of leaders you must not be. And I will take them by way of laws. All right? So the first one I'll share with you will be what I call the law of the echo. You must not be the echo leader. Okay? So this law says the empty leader creates an empty box containing no followership. I take that again. The empty leader creates an empty box that contains no leadership. When you have a leader that's a mere echo, there is no clarity of voice. All you have is the echo that comes in an empty space, as it were. Such leaders have no self-confidence. They have no competence. They compromise in character or spot some limiting weakness. Such leaders are typically lacking in self-leadership. There is nothing from within them to draw from. So, what this leads to is that they eventually begin to appeal to power in order to influence. So, when they ask you to do something, they appeal to their position. It is because of their position that you will have to obey them, not because of necessarily what they are doing for you or what they represent in the life of the people they are leading. And I used to say this, if you have to command your people before they can obey or respect you, then you have not started leading. So the empty leader creates only an echo. He cannot sincerely and authentically inspire followership. So by its very nature, leadership requires vision, passion, commitment, integrity, what have you, in order to function effectively. Where these things are lacking, then there is no leadership. It's all echo and no voice of authentic direction. I will challenge you, my friend. Don't be an echo leader. Number two. Number two is what I called the law of the roadblock. In other words, to don't be a roadblock leader, a leader that creates roadblocks. Leaders are called to be signposts, not roadblocks. Leaders are called to be signposts, not roadblocks. Now, I find this often as you look at people who are giving people to coordinate. Anytime you find a weak and insecure leader, watch him or her. That person will often set barriers for their people, especially their gifted and high performance people. That is one sign of an insecure leader. He creates roadblocks. Okay? So where they can't enter, they won't let those around them to do so. Insecurity breeds a sense of competition. So the leader begins to see the people around him as competitors. They do not want anybody to outshine them. So they spend more time trying to dim the light of those around them. Leaders are not meant to be roadblocks. They are meant to be signposts to point the way and lead the people to progress. My friend, again, I will encourage you, don't be a roadblock leader. You are meant to be a signpost pointing in the right direction. Number 3 is what I call the law of the image transfer. Now, what does it say? Leaders determine the outlook of their people and the outcome that they get. So the question you need to be asking yourself as a leader will consistently be, am I creating a bright outlook? The things I represent, are they rubbing off positively on the people that I am leading? You know why? Every team mirrors the leader. Every team mirrors the leader. Every family mirrors the leader. So the quality of the people is often a reflection of the quality of the leader. And this is very important. So it's typically easier for things to flow downstream than upstream. For instance, it's easier for me to influence those below me than for those below me to influence upwards. I hope you do understand that. So the image transfer means that it is what I carry that I eventually transfer to the people around me. So if I'm a leader and I have a lot of goodwill, it means the rest of my team will enjoy goodwill. So let's put this together. An empty leader very soon spreads ineffectiveness in the team, and ultimately growth becomes stunted in that team. So if your team or people around you are not flourishing, just check yourself. There is either no flow from you or there is a bad flow. Listen to that again. If your team or the people around you are not flourishing, it is an indication that there is either no flow whatsoever or there is a bad flow coming from you. My friends, I will encourage you, make sure that the flow from you is a positive flow, that you are transferring this right kind of image to your people. Number 4, finally, the law of the broken wall. The law of the broken wall. So, my friend, don't be a broken wall leader. This speaks about leadership character. When the leadership wall is broken, the people become prey to what I call crawling serpents. The last few decades have thrown up a lot of corporate failures. A lot of big companies have fallen. And one interesting thing about all these failures have been the fact that each time we hear about them, the reason behind them, they are not so much about the incompetence of leaders. These are often organizations run by very competent, very knowledgeable, very experienced leaders. But the failures have often come from breaches of corporate governance, from not doing the right thing. In other words, these are issues of character. And studies have shown, my friend, that 90% of leadership failures are actually character failures. So when these failures happen, the ultimate victims are the people. So you have loss of jobs and income, disrupted careers, wives and children that suffer ridicule, the poor that remain poorer, all kinds of things. The absence of opportunities to be able to thrive, whether at the national level, it is at the family level, it is at an institutional level. These things are big problems for the people that we lead. So let me recap. We have gone through these 4 types of leaders you must not be. You do not want to be an echo, a leader that has no clarity, nothing to draw from, and therefore you are just a mere echo. That's not what you want to be. And so, number 2, you do not want to be a leader that constitutes a roadblock to the people. And number 3, ensure you are not a leader who is transferring the wrong kind of image to your people. And finally, you must not be a broken wall leader. Let me close by saying this. I made this note several years ago for myself. I will say it here, perhaps it may help you. I wrote for myself this memo and said, if you leave the people you are called to lead the way you met them, you never led them. You were merely among them. True leadership lifts people, lifts teams, lifts institutions. Leaders lead change. I'll say that again. Leaders lead change. They make progress happen. Are you that kind of leader? This is the end of our session for today. I want to thank you for joining us, and I want to ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our various social media platforms. We will keep coming your way with this series. This has been Leading Edge. Thank you very much for joining.